we only have 2 freestyle sessions left until the playoffs, which I am thankful for because this has been like a shortened season, a condensed season, but I don't know about you fellas. It seems like it's been long to me. I don't know if it's the amount of games they condensed or whatever, man, but this seems, my body clock is just used to playoff basketball right now, but this has been a long season. So we got the 4-man trio in the building, Germ, Trav, J-Ham. Remember, 94 Feet of Life is the Facebook group, Scene Facebook fan page. We'll go through all the other socials at the end of the show. But fellas, you know how we do it, man. Freestyle Monday. What's on your minds? We kind of keeping one eye on the games as we talking to y'all. And what's happening, man? We are 8 days from the playoffs beginning.
And we talk about the West a lot, but this East is looking real dicey right now. It's looking real spicy over here in the East, man. I'm talking about you got teams that you never thought that was gonna come in and get this thing, and the Wizards, they're one of them. They are one of them. About 2 weeks ago, they were at 12th place.
They have stormed back from the brink. They were dead a month ago.
Right.
They have put it together. Ham, I'm gonna kick it over to you because you got the cap, you got the nickname for the night. The blue and orange skies, the sun is up. The Knicks, B. Word.
Yo, Don. Tell you like this, son. Like this, B. Word of month, B. You know, it's like this, B. The Knicks, they play hard on both ends, B. They check it up on the defensive end, B. They're not taking a lot of threes, but the threes that they taking, they making, B. That's just how they getting down like that, B. Bring a former MVP off the bench, B.
Playing that wild defense, B.
I couldn't do that tonight. I don't want to laugh. That for too long, but hey, they're a fun group to watch, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's nothing glamorous or pretty about them. They just go on the hoop, and they got hoopers. Shout out to Reggie Bullock. Shout out to Les. Y'all know the inside with that one. But it's just, hey, wherever they land, it's gonna be a must-see matchup for me to check them out. See how they get down in the postseason. Now they officially clinched yet?
I think it's gonna happen real soon.
The Knicks is in a situation where they need one more game and then they'll be able to clinch.
Okay. Magic numbers 1.
It's inevitable. They're gonna be ahead.
If the Hawks lose tonight, which they could lose tonight to Washington, right now the game is currently going right now. So if we for whatever reason, if we're able to see the end of that game tonight before we get off, we'll let y'all know. But if the Hawks lose tonight and Knicks win the next game, they clinch the 4th.
Yeah, they are gonna be a headache for somebody because as Ham talked about, it's not pretty. It ain't easy on the eyes, but they play hard. They play fast. They competitive as hell. And hey, shout out to the Knicks. B. Word. Germ, the weatherman. Why are you the weatherman tonight, sir?
Well, tonight we just want to gauge the temperatures out here of all of the fan bases as we get ready for the proverbial playoffs. So we got a forecast of a lot of Clippers, a lot of Brooklyn Nets. Those teams are still back in that final situation where they're going to be primed and ready. Sixers, get healthy because you're going to need it for this 7-game dogfight that you're going to be enduring if you get there. And also, just wanted to make sure I let everybody know the weather is not looking good in Boston right now. As we talked about before with Mr. Jaylen Brown, he is out for the rest of the year. That hurts. That really hurts them so much. That's your second best player. Never want to see Jaylen go down, especially during this portion of the year. So the weather right now is not looking too good out there in Boston. They're looking like they're going to be in the play-in game. So Kemba This is your opportunity right here to step up into that second role. Jason Tatum has played outstanding basketball the last 6 weeks of the season. Let me call that out now because I was critical of him, saying he was doing too much earlier in the year for whatever thing. Maybe he heard me. I don't know. But now he is playing fantastic basketball. You go and take that with it. Marcus Smart is back in the fold. So they got some things in the chamber here, y'all. It's just how are they going to implement them? How are they going to use them? I'm here for this. Shout out to everybody in the comments real quick before I swing it. Category 5 on YouTube. We got Nick over here on Facebook. We got KG on Facebook, and we got Coach Barry already as well on Facebook. Shouts out to everybody there. Back to you, Big Shot.
So shout out to our people. We're going to have y'all on camera next Monday night. The playoff preview extravaganza starring you. 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. We're going to have some special guests along with us, a couple of special guests, and you the people, man, to help us break down this playoff. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But Jeremy, as you talked about the topsy-turvy nature of the East, and I think it's not necessarily topsy-turvy as far as we know pretty much who is in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we pretty much know. It's just kind of a matter of rank the seed. But we talk about Boston, the Jaylen Brown injury. Washington, Brad Beal's hamstring is now a little dicey. He probably is missing he might miss the rest of the week. James Harden looks like he may return to at least get a game or two in before the season's in. So we talked about this. We talk about this every season. Trav. Health is the equalizer in all of this. And in this condensed schedule, man, it matters every year. But I think this year it's really taking its toll. And we talk about as Trav talked about, we talk about the West. We watched the Lakers. They beat the Suns, but you watch Anthony Davis right now, and it's like, I don't know. 42 points, but he had to really battle through.
Man, labor.
To get to that 42.
41 minutes.
Word, labor.
41 minutes, labor for 42 points. It's cool statistically. It's cool. It's cool. But do you want to risk this man for you to not even be in the playoffs? We seen this man. We seen him grab every body part of his body last night.
If that's what it's going to take for him to get through that, you need 16 of that with wins. And you probably going to need more than 16 wins with the situation that they're currently in.
And do you risk that? You risk that, though?
To me, Trav, is just take the play. The Lakers are gonna make the playoffs. They'll make the play-in. Him and LeBron wouldn't see the floor for me until next Tuesday.
Right.
I think here's what I'm gonna say, and I just this is weird. Probably when Germ is coming as trying to be the voice of reason, it's probably weird. The voice of reason says you don't even have to worry about necessarily AD hurting himself if you even put him on a minutes restriction, or you limit his touches, or you do something. You play through him a different way. The problem with the Lakers is it's too much catch and shoot and standing still. Everybody, when AD get the ball, is moving or sliding. Nobody's cutting. That's the problem with the Lakers right there in itself.
But you leave.
It's the same problem that you have with a LeBron James-led basketball team. So before I pass it to you, Trav, I'm going to say this, and this is just going to be real simple. Big Shot, not only can your formula for not next till next Tuesday be very, very, very applicable for the situation, this Laker team needs to figure out who they need Kuzma to have confidence. So Kuzma need to play as many minutes as possible to get the confidence going. Same thing for Horton Tucker. This is the time to get your young guys the confidence they need to get ready to go on this playoff stretch. Let's go. let's not make this into something that we don't need to make it into. Andre Drummond needs these minutes right now. Believe it or not, he needs these minutes. Let him build some camaraderie with the team. Y'all doing this so backwards because y'all see names that don't even make sense. This is where Jay Kidd and Frank Vogel are total opposites. I believe Jay Kidd would probably be all in favor of sitting the superstars right now and building the core. Frank is just trying his best, his damnedest to not have to be in this playoff game, this play-in game. Bro, accept your fate. Injuries happen to the best of happen to the best of us, Big Shot.
There's no difference. If you think about this, let's think about this from a matchup point of view and traveling kick to you. Let's say you get the 6 seed. Let's go for that. You get the 6 seed, you're not in the play-in. That earns you a date with the Clippers.
But here's the thing. They're not even looking at a matchup from one way. Either way it go, you gonna get bit. You're gonna get bit. You're gonna either get bit by the Clippers if you stay in the 6 seed, because the Clippers probably gonna be the 3rd seed. You want that, or do you want to deal with the potential of being out the playoffs? You got to run up against Curry. You got to run up against Steph. One thing about the Lakers, though, they will play defense.
As hot as Steph is, and Steph is
fish grease,
Lane is completely on fire. I'm still taking my chances with Golden State over the Clippers.
Right.
I mean, you'll get Phoenix. Think about your pack. And Ham, jump in on this. Yes, it's extra games, which nobody wants. But if you tell me Warriors, Memphis, no, you go right to the 7th seed.
If you beat the Warriors. Yep. If you beat the Warriors,
if they beat the Warriors, they done. They beat the Warriors, okay. They stay in 7th.
So here, Warriors, Phoenix, or the Clippers. Warriors, Phoenix, or the Clippers. I'd rather do this than do this one. I'd rather get the extra game with the Warriors than go right to the Clippers. So to me, if it's not worth risking AD this week to avoid the play-in and avoid, quote unquote, avoid Curry and then deal with the Clippers bird around.
They playing scared ball, man. They playing scared position ball.
That's what I was about to say.
They playing scared position ball. Like I'm gonna lose on purpose so I can get this seed, or I'm gonna play this hard. You should have been playing that hard 5 weeks ago.
Let's have some fun.
Go ahead, Ham. Let me have Ham get in real quick.
I don't want to knock it, but because it can work in their favor in that sense, but just scared money is dead money. Just the way I feel about it. And the way that this thing that kind of really tailspin for them through this last portion of it, I don't like that. I don't like that grind either. And I'm gonna be honest, whether if it was over sensationalized or not, the LeBron comments about his body not being able to possibly go back to 100%, that would be alarming to me too. But story will write itself.
As much as that man takes care of himself, 36 is 36.
Yep.
And there are only so many miles on that odometer.
It's like Jim Ross said. It's like Jim Ross said about wrestling. Hey, Father Time does no jobs. Father Time's not losing. It's just that simple. It will catch you at some point. It's just some people, they just are able to extend it, whatever the case may be. I mean, such as that dude that's down in Tampa Bay that play quarterback. I don't know what he on, but he different. Braun different too. As Timmy was different, as Kareem was different, but we all saw some point.
It happens to all of them.
Yeah.
It will happen. Go ahead, Jerm. You said you want to have a little fun. What we doing?
So let's have a little fun with this. You just like you said, the Warriors, right? Let's say this is your worst case scenario. Your worst case scenario is you lose to a Warriors team, and then you go play Memphis or the Spurs, which you have beat up on both of those teams, by the way, because of the LeBron and AD matchup. You're not in a bad spot at all in this situation for two reasons. Because the teams that you would have to play in the play-in besides Golden State are all young teams. So you have the veteran advantage with your roster. Also, Utah and Phoenix are the two teams in the West that I'm going to go on a limb out and say this to everybody now. Don't be surprised if they don't make it past the second round. Don't be surprised if the 1 and 2 are not in the Western Conference Finals. Don't be surprised if it's 3-4, 3-5, 3-6, 6-5, 6-4. Y'all like 6-8? That's the point. I'm just being honest because you got to understand this Utah team, as good as they are, they go with Donovan Mitchell. And if you're able to contain Donovan Mitchell in that pick and roll and that 4 in and 1 out, and you're able to keep them to 100 points, you're going to be able to beat them. Phoenix, you have to be physical with Phoenix. The Lakers were physical with Phoenix last night. And as much as Phoenix pushed that envelope late, it didn't matter. Because they didn't take care of it. In the words of my guy, the guy to my left right now, they didn't take care of their business at the beginning, so it didn't help them at the end. This is what we're looking at. Do not run away from your destiny. You just got to play. You just got to be healthy.
Healthy. Hell, we've said this about the Lakers and we said this about Brooklyn, and it still applies today. Health is more important than seed.
Mm-hmm.
For those two teams. Those teams
got
don't
two of
need
the best players in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you just need to be in the playoffs. It doesn't matter where you are. So
I'm with you, Big Shot. Like I said, I thought that was interesting. But if you had to pick between Utah and Phoenix, who would you pick? That's where the fun starts.
Utah.
Trav, who would you pick?
I go Utah.
Ham, what about you?
Head for the mountains of the Rockies, the Jazz.
So with that being said, in the comments, y'all throw in y'all opinions as well in this if y'all feel like it. I agree with y'all. I think Utah is more of a team that is tailor-made for the Lakers to go in and be able to find their stride against, because there is no matchup for Anthony Davis. We found this out. A motivated Anthony Davis is just as good as any player in basketball.
Hold up. I'm saying Utah. Hold up.
Okay,
now.
wait a minute. So
hold up. Because now I think you're asking, who do you think they should play? Who the Lakers should play against? Now,
no, I'm saying who do you feel is a better matchup for LA?
As far Phoenix. If you want Lakers to get a roll, did you just see that game last night?
Yeah, I don't take too much out of that for two reasons.
Oh, that's gonna continue.
I don't take too much out of that for two reasons. The first reason I don't take too much out of it is because I really think Phoenix was BSing. We got a lot of unnecessary open live ball turnovers early in the game and those type of things. And in a 7-game series, we get to see some different things. I'm not gonna go.
I understand.
I'm not gonna overreact.
I understand that, Jern. Before I'm gonna get this to you, Ham. I totally understand that, Jern. But at the same time, the Lakers play defense. That team is an inexperienced Phoenix team. As much as they have dusted the regular season, they are the hunted. They're going to be hunted now. The Lakers adjusted D'd up, and that's the result. You
Ham.
have no answer. Go ahead, Hal.
Ham.
I'm thinking that I was looking at it from that standpoint too, Trav, but also you still got a wizard in terms of creating offensive opportunities on the other side. Who know how to get busy with this too, with Chris. And he got a real pistol on his wing. I mean, the boy went to Boston and would put up what 70, and this when his team was real danked out.
Hey man, I love Booker. I love D Book, man.
Now, with that being said, let's go back to something that Big Shot pointed out last week when Jerm asked us why nobody picked Phoenix that first time around. The precedents of this, you don't see cats come in on the first time like that and really, hit the ground running in that first series. They might get a couple wins out of it, especially that marquee kind of series.
Mhm.
Get a couple wins out of it, but they're usually falling like 6, maybe a tough 7, a tough 6, tough 7, something like that. Because it's their steps. It's the steps that you generally have to take when you're in that spot. And as we acknowledge, ain't nobody on that Phoenix squad been there but Chris. But Chris is such a key point.
It makes it hard. But you see, and again, I'm not disputing anything Trav has said there. It's just I'm gonna pay respect to what let's pay respect to the game. I think Phoenix still has a roster that's gonna be able to make the moves. They still have some mismatches as the key areas. On the wing, as good as the Lakers defend, I need to see Devin take that next step now. This is where we get to see what Devin really is coming up, moving forward. And this is just the first stage because again, we talk about a player that still ain't even hit his prime yet.
It's his first playoff, John.
So I want to see. But the only reason why I say it, but now I'm gonna swing it right to you, Big Shot. Real quick point. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm saying is Utah struggles to score. The Lakers play great defense. That situation in a playoff scenario looks like 100 to 85 4 games straight against Utah. At least Phoenix may be able to put up 115.
They give 120, right?
and at least push the pressure for the Lakers to have to score. When Utah go cold, man, you might as well go on and put on our Marion video because we gonna have the ice boxes and everything. It's over with. We're gonna go ahead and go with it. Go ahead, Big Shot.
Yeah, I think it becomes very interesting. So I think for our Laker crew and our viewers, main thing here is just be healthy. Just be healthy. This is in to me.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth when it comes to the Lakers. Flipping this over to the East side, health is wealth again. Brooklyn, another team. Seeding doesn't matter. I think Brooklyn gets through their first series no matter who. Even if they're 3. If they're 3 and they end up with Miami, or they end up with the Hawks, okay. I think they get through this area. Where Brooklyn needs everybody for the second round and forward. Is where they do need everybody. Again, health is wealth. But we talk about a lot of Brooklyn, but I will tell you the interesting matchup, and I want to get y'all perspective on this. If Brooklyn isn't healthy, the Bucks become a very different proposition with an unhealthy Brooklyn team. And I still believe Brooklyn is the heavy favorite in the East. But an unhealthy Brooklyn versus Milwaukee gets a little tricky. That one gets a little, I ain't gonna say it's dicey, but it might take a little bit longer than it's supposed to. Which Ham, Trav, which other thing?
I'm with you. I was talking about this the other day. We were talking about this the other day that you need number 13 going to Milwaukee. You need 13 to go to Milwaukee. You need 13 to walk up in Philly. You need that. You need that because that balances the power and actually shifts the power to the Nets because of the man's creativity. The man can score and he can actually defend when he wants to defend. He shifts the power that much. Them three guys together, love.
Ham, I'm gonna let you take it, then I'm gonna come. Weatherman gonna come and put a little snow on it real quick. Can't ban the snowman.
That changes the dynamic a lot. The health of the Nets in their regard, and I'm gonna be real quick with it because I think I've been saying it really since about 15, 16, long as 94 been running as a group. And I think some cats thought it was a cop out till after a couple of years we saw the results kind of come what it is. My prediction is very simple. The healthiest of the best will prevail. It is really just, I don't care if it's Brooklyn, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Grizz. I don't care who it is. Whoever's available and that's the best that's left out of the back, that's who's gonna prevail in this.
Now the man soliciting wins. This is too much.
Hey, I got to. I mean, we on TV right now. We struggling with a team that's, I ain't gonna say struggling, but we fight with another young team that's trying to get in. But it's just one of those deals, man, where I've seen that happen. Where that one seed and proverbial, then a Brooks banging on heads. Anyhow, that and for the N1, that proverbial contender who's predicted to win it all, they lose a key guy. Speaking of my hometown, it happened here 8 years ago when Russell Westbrook went down at the hands of Patrick Beverly. They get through that series, then they have to come and have a good old-fashioned Mud Island rock fight that they weren't able to score 90 points in with no Russ. It's right up in the alley with the Grizz. I think you could have a similar situation. Milwaukee can catch Brooklyn in a similar situation if the health fails. And that will make Coach Barry rejoice.
See, I understand everybody here is, y'all. I know Brooklyn.
Hold on, True. Don't get me wrong though. Milwaukee, we still need more people.
Yeah, and see, here's my thing with Milwaukee. I think everybody in 94 Feet of Life, MJ especially, Ham, you know as well, y'all know how much I love Drew Holiday. As an individual basketball player, he is incredible. Okay? I don't care. If you dog Drew Holiday, we got to fight. It's just that simple. That's simple. Dude, just go out there and do his job, man. You can't ask for much. You know what I'm saying?
My bad.
So with those things being said, that's Drew. Giannis, we gotta respect Giannis for who he is as a basketball player. He is a tough cover. He is one of the 5 best players in the game. I gotta talk like Trap in the game today. All right. In the words of my guy Big Shot, it's just certain cats that just not walking through that door right now. Chris Middleton, as much as we like him, as much as he cool, I'm not trusting him in those 7-game series. It was easy in this situation when you played Brooklyn the last time, but them shots mean everything in the playoffs. So let's not also forget that my guy Third Eye Kai was on Ramadan during this stretch. So while everybody like, you don't want Kai running the offense or you don't want Kai to do different things, that's 20 points you scoring on Ramadan. 40 points you scoring on Ramadan. So imagine when he's able to hydrate his body. Some of those fourth quarter shots that you see he's missing, them going to be butter like they've been being all season. Make sure y'all understand, Put some respect on these two. 7 and 11, as long as they're on the court, the only person who they got to worry about is Joel Embiid. That's the only mismatch. We can figure the Giannis situation out. But we got to put some respect on the fact that when this team decides they want to defend, they are tremendous. They will be there, and they can beat the Bucks without James, if it came down to it. But I'm not saying that James not going to be there. I think James will be there. I think James will probably end up at the end of the week closing out the last game against Cleveland. Who knows? But just no mistake about it. They can win 2 rounds without 13.
So crashing, of course, no camera on, as always. It's our main man, Coach Les, in the building. Coach Les, what's happening?
What's going on, fellas?
Man,
we are on the internet. We are live.
And
I'm just here.
Just talking a little Reggie Bullock, you know.
Yeah, you missed
Okay.
Reggie Bullock. You missed it.
I just want to jump on here and just be here with my friends and have lovely conversations about NBA playoffs and carrying on.
So
that's all.
So Les, I'm gonna keep you right there, and I want my fellows to jump in. So we spent a lot of time the last couple of weeks on Brooklyn's health, the Lakers' health, Phoenix. We talked a lot about Phoenix. We talked a lot about the Clippers. But yet, the team that we probably have not talked enough about is the actual number 1 seed in the East, and that's Philadelphia. And they've been the most consistent team pretty much all year, maybe except for Utah. Philly hasn't really had any droughts. They haven't had too many bad patches. Process, depending on what your MVP rankings look like, somewhere in the top 3. I got Ben Simmons. I believe Ben Simmons should be Defensive Player of the Year. Doc has really done a really good job with that team. So, Coach, since you dropping in, we know you're a busy man, so you never know when you got to book out. I'm gonna go to you, and I'm gonna go to Ham, and I'm gonna go to Trav. So Les, J, Trav, Philadelphia.
Well, I think that's going to be a pretty good matchup. I could see them in the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. I also, and this might sound a little crazy, all depending on that 4-5 matchup. If Philly got to see the Knicks, it's gonna be Benny Siegel versus Jadakiss.
Dang.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's got that, and like I said, and it was a post, I think we was both on it. The Knicks may not beat Philly, but the Knicks will make sure Philly don't win their next series. Whoever the Knicks play, that team won't win the next series. I wholeheartedly believe it. I could be wrong. But I just feel that I feel that in my spirit. I just think the Knicks, like, you just gonna have to beat us, but we gonna take everything out of you. And they're gonna do so many things so well defensively that whoever playing them, that coaching staff is going to have a game plan to execute. Because the Knicks playing somebody to 7 games. You best believe that. They playing somebody, they going 7 games with somebody. So I do believe that about the Knicks. But Philly is an interesting matchup. I think they have what it takes to get to the finals. I just don't think they have more than what the Nets would have if they met. I think like I said, it depends on that Knicks matchup. You know, if the Knicks are in 4th place, if they hold serve, if it's Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, then they're gonna have some trouble that second round. They're gonna have some trouble that second round. But yeah, I would say Philly Nets winning. Yeah, I gotta go with Nets. After what I seen Saturday night in Denver, and I literally watched them down 23 points in the first half against Denver in Denver, for them to come back and win that game. And that, I don't know what went on in the second half, but they came out it looked like two different teams. And Kevin Durant is a very underrated defender. People don't give him enough credit. He's the best he's the best player in basketball right now. If it's all the basketball players that are in the world right now, Kevin Durant is the best one. I don't care how, even in bitty basketball, I'm talking from bitty basketball to the NBA, he's the best basketball player on earth. Now, I don't know what they're doing in Mars, but Kevin Durant is the best player in basketball. The stuff that he does live and in person, and when you can actually see it, it's remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable. And so I know he's talking about Philly, but you can't say Philly without bringing up the Nets. You can't, because I don't see it. I think the only thing that may edge Philly over the Nets is Doc Rivers. That's how I think. I think if it came down to it, I think Doc Rivers, if it came tactically, I think Doc Rivers and that staff they have the edge there. But if talent prevails, man, I got the Nets. And I honestly think talent will prevail at the end of the day.
Ham, we talk about what Les gave. That's great insight on the Nets. How does Philly is kind of a really under radar number one seed. It's possible to be under the radar as a number one seed. They are. Philly, talk about them. That may say the matchup with the Nets. I think Coach broke that down for us, but are we forgetting them to some degree?
We not. Our core group here, because it always comes back to where who gonna have to deal with Joel when they get locked into that game 4, game 5, those swing games that put you up 3-1, 3-2, whatever the case may be, and Joel get locked into that mode to where he realizes ain't a motherfucker in the planet can guard him. And that's a wrap. And that could change the whole direction for a whole lot of folks. Then I look at it just in the standpoint of where I look at Milwaukee like, yo, we need more people. I don't know if y'all tough enough. I look at Philly like, yo, y'all are. Y'all definitely are. And I trust Doc. I know the Doc blew 3-1 leads. Doc blew 3-1 leads that he had no business being up 3-1 in. To begin with, we can talk about that for a whole nother show.
Yeah,
just the way I feel about it. But Doc has also won championship. Doc has also been an injury here, injury there, from winning multiple championships. Like you said about Ben, I think Ben has found what Ben is going to be. That killer on the perimeter that's going to lock you up. He creates his opportunities to do what he wants to do on the offensive end to get in transition. Because in the half-court offense, if he gets to the block, what you going to do with him? If he face up and get to where you want to get to, what you going to do? No, he don't got to shoot from 17. So what? You can't stop him from getting to where you want to get to, and he going to lock you up on the other end. Now what? Tobias Harris, his best production, under Doc.
He to me, he becomes the key.
He's the key. Absolutely agree.
And Tobias now, who was another guy who's flown under the radar and had a really good season, is Tobias Harris. This is where Tobias now, we don't count pockets, but this is where Tobias earns his money.
Right.
This is where the $190 million man kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias has to be. He can't equal Kevin Durant. He can't equal James Harden and Kyrie, but Tobias can't be a passenger. And I'm not saying he is one, but Tobias has to be 20, 25 points in that series. Because as Germ has talked about and Les has talked about, the amount of talent that Brooklyn has, the amount of buckets they can put on you, all of them everybody got to score. And this is where Tobias now can really put his stamp that he is in that, maybe not the upper echelon, but you right there. You a step below. You in that second group of players. Trav, bring you back off of mute, sir. Philly as the other team in the East, so to speak.
You know why we don't talk about? Well, we talk about them, but we kind of like ain't said too much.
Mm-hmm.
They in the same boat as a Russell Westbrook or anybody else that does great things, repetitions. We expected it. You look at the build of that team, you know they was going to be either the 1, 2, or 3 seed. You knew this. We already knew this. They have been to the Western Conference. What's that semis against the Raptors?
They've been to semis a couple times.
They know what it takes to go down that road. Now you have a coach that has been down that road also. This is where it's just, just keep it short and sweet. It's just well expected from Philly. We already know Philly was going to be right here. That's why we know about Embiid. We know about Ben. We know about Tobias. And Tobias is the X. Well, we got to put these others in there too. Seth and Green going to have to play ball. Maxey and Shake going to have to play ball. And you got a goon that just won a championship. He is a force.
Yeah.
He is a force. Number 39, he is a force. So they are where they at because we expected them to be where they at now. We already expected.
Germ, Philadelphia.
So here's my thing with Philly, right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and let's have some, again. I'm having fun out here in life. We just living, having our best life. What's more impactful in a series for Philly? Is it being with a triple-double or flirting with the triple-double, getting you getting great defensive pressure and those type of things? Is it Tobias being the X factor that we talked about, giving you 20 a night in a playoff series? Or is it Embiid with 30, 12, and 5 with 2 to 2.5 blocks?
I think that depends on what the situation called for that day.
I think if you're playing Brooklyn,
if we talk about beating the team 4 times,
if they're gonna beat Brooklyn 4 times, for Joel, 30, 12, and 5 is the baseline. That's the starting point.
Now, I'm going to give you this, and this is why I'm saying this. Because if we're saying that they go as Embiid, and everybody is saying that Harden is the heartbeat for the Nets, how is that going to offset 27, 12, 10 with a block and a steal a game?
Easy, Jerm. It's easy because when 13 gets back, I'm not saying that Kyrie don't do it, and I'm not saying that Kevin Durant don't do it. But when Beard is in their game, what is his stat line?
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a triple-double.
But that's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, everybody is involved.
Right.
If you want that, and you was putting the scenarios and what would you want? You need all of it from all 3.
You need a balanced breakfast.
You need a balanced bingo. There it is.
So
You need a balanced breakfast for
especially if they
every
help.
last one of them because
Especially
it's
if they
going to
help.
take a team. It's going to
Yeah.
take a full team effort of all them stats.
And
Of
you
all that.
still need them on the other side.
On the other end,
Yeah.
you still need it on the other end.
You still need them to miss on the other side.
so but here's the point. And Trav and Ham, y'all just proved the point even more. If you get the 27, 12, and 10 from Harden, that is going to pretty much put Brooklyn in the driver's seat every night to score 125 plus points.
And this is why it is hard to beat the better team 4 times in this format.
Exactly. That's why it's tough.
That's why I'm saying it is so awkward with the situation that Philly is in. Because if people are going to look at this team, if they, let's just say they don't make it to the finals, they're going to look at this team and say it's a failure when it's really not. You just went up with a team that offensively is one of in history, is one of those teams that you just, what do you do when they all hitting?
You know what I kind of look at this like? In a similar situation, it's kind of like Kawhi's last full year in San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
where they won like 60 or whatever it was, but Golden State won 67 and they had KD. And when you get into playoffs, that San Antonio team was going to need some stuff to happen in order for them. They could win a game, they could get 2 games out of it, possibly even take it 7. But they needed a lot of stuff to go wrong on the other
And
side.
game 1 was a perfect example.
Game 1 was kind of the example, and then also was the example as to how quick it could flip. Because that fourth quarter, when 35 took over, the whole that was the series.
That was series.
That was the series right there. And then
Game 1.
on that, you
Game
got
1.
to
Game 1.
back
That man turned his ankle. He turned his ankle. 35
Right.
snap.
And I think that's when you talk about this. When you talk about Brooklyn, and we knock on wood, we know something bad's going to have to happen on the other side of the floor to beat Brooklyn. Knock on wood, injury, or somebody just goes cold.
I mean,
where you like, damn, Kyrie 7 for 21 tonight.
And that, but the 7 for 21 big shot of beef still for 25.
No, it's that's what I'm saying. There are a lot of things that are going to have to happen.
That's tough.
But I think what I would say is, and this is why I thought like 2019, you couldn't have told me the Warriors weren't going to win that. The Warriors with a dead-on favorite. All it takes.
What happened, Big Shot? What happened?
All it takes is, again, that's
Don't
why
want it to happen, but it can happen.
For Brooklyn to not get out the East, somebody's going to have to play 4 of the games of their lives, and Brooklyn going to need 2 cold nights.
and with some extra ties being paid.
Yeah.
Extra love offering.
And you need Ramadan to extend at least
Right,
until
hope that you can get Kyrie not eating before 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Things of that nature, not to be funny, but just to be on the real side. It's like you need that much stuff to go wrong, but it's possible.
But this is why I want them to get Philadelphia, because I think Philadelphia can do some things that there are certain things Brooklyn's not going to be able to do. And one of them is process. I think just to watch process have to go to, which is crazy to say because how good he is, he got to go up on that. But this is a dude that's getting like 29-12 on an average night.
And you need him now to go 40 and 15.
This is where the 35 and 15 has to come into play.
This is where, as Ham like to call it, and we're not big advocates of it, but it would be fun to watch process be hero for a little bit and just be selfish. Just say, look, just throw it to him every time down the floor and just let him go.
I mean, as Mariah said, when he comes along with the strength to carry on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it requires this for this situation. It's just one of those things they require. Hey, we saw the most historic NBA championship 5 years ago won, and it took some hero shit.
It took some heroes.
That's
And
what it
Brooklyn
is.
don't need. It'll be fun to watch Ben take on the challenge of one or of the two greatest perimeter offensive players we've ever seen.
Mhm.
Watch to see Ben get in the stance on James Harden, or to see Ben get in the stance on Kyrie. Yes, they will score, but the challenge. And I think that's why I want Philadelphia to play Brooklyn. Because I want to see, because in the playoffs, and y'all know, I want to see the challenge. I want to see somebody like when the Rockets had the Warriors down 3-2 in their hole a couple years ago. Now let me see. Let me see what you got. Brooklyn walk dog walking people 4-0-4-0 ain't no fun. Let me see. Let me see the
challenge.
And I think Philly is the one team that can actually challenge them and make them work for it. Brooklyn still might win the series 4-1, 4-2. Cool. But I think they are the one team that can actually make it interesting. And
I'd take a hard 5, hard 6.
making a hard 5.
Yeah, competitive.
Let's make it there you go. Make it competitive and interesting.
I want good basketball to just be played in general and let the chips fall where they may. No injuries, none of that stuff. I want everybody to be healthy. Why? Because I just think at the end of the day, I think Philly and Brooklyn have been to two teams in basketball that I don't think anybody has really wanted to play, to be fair. I think with a motivated Joel, I don't think AD and the Lakers would want to play a motivated Joel. I don't think anybody wants that.
Play. Nobody wants. Motivated Joel is no.
Motivated Joel is in that. Motivated Joel's top 5 in the league, and he may be number 1 in the league. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like it's different. It's different when you get that type. I want a motivated Joel with a hard defense playing Ben and Tobias at his best. Absolutely. And I want Ben, and I want this to be bucket for bucket, 3 smack. I want the whole 9 yards. Because I like the aspect of no excuses. I don't want to say, well, they only won because nah, bruh. I want the whole 9. I want everything to be moving, everything to be optimal. I want a full-fledged Autobots versus Decepticons type of battle. Exactly. You feel me?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? There's only going to be one person at the end of the year that's completely happy, and that's the man or the men holding the trophy.
Absolutely.
You're not going to win a trophy every year.
Nope.
But I want to see Joel at it. I want to see Tobias at it. I want to see Ben at it. So I'm cool with that. So if we could do some stuff spinning around the league, fellas, just some kind of quick hits. Luka Doncic is punching folks in the groin. Let me say this, man. Luka is a great player. Luka got to chill out. Luka got to chill out a little bit. Like, he kind of get into that space of, all right, now, young fella, hold on, man. Hold on, man. And Ham and Trav, everybody jump in. The whining thing gets a little old. Get a little old sometimes. He do some things, man, that's a little petulant. It's a little immature. It's like, all right, Luke, now, come on. And And he's somebody, you talk about can't afford to lose somebody. You get a couple of untimely texts in the playoff series and watch what happens. You gotta chill out, man. You gotta chill out you gotta calm down. What your parents used to say, you gotta simmer down. You gotta simmer down a little bit.
Well, as my mom used to say, you cruising for a bruising.
Chill out, man.
What Luka's issue is, to be fair, and just to pass it right to him, Luka's having that issue now where he's become a little too big for his britches. Period.
Jerm, you know what? You know what, Jerm? You said it better than I said. You kind of have gotten to a point of, all right, now, hey.
You know better. You know better. That's the big shot, but it's nothing else we can say. Dude know better. He been hooping since he was like 7 years old, man. He know better.
He been a pro since he was like 11. Chill out.
Whose man is this?
I blame Trez. Trez brought something out. Then ultimately it's like, okay, I got to boss back up against these fools, which is not the smart thing to do. It's not, but it's one of those where he ain't gonna learn until he get his head cracked. And he probably need to get his head, not necessarily had to be in the physical aspect of him literally getting his head cracked, but him doing something stupid and running to the total 5-10 game suspension, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And part of it, I honestly think is, I'm not gonna say it's a culture shock, but it's an adaptation to the culture where he need to see he going down this avenue the wrong way. Just one of those deals, you know what I'm saying? Especially if he ain't got no OGs around there that's like, hey, man.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it too. Because on that squad,
young dude,
it is him, it is me.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nobody else on this team. It ain't no, as you say, Ham, it ain't no OGs on the team.
No, ain't no OGs over there.
There's not even a player on the team that's like, you talk about your co-star. He ain't got no co-star.
Right, Porzingis, but all he gonna do is call the Kremlin and get his orders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
well, see what we got. See what we got to deal with.
Shout out to the old USSR. Shout out to remember the CCCP on the wrestling type.
This is where I got it. I was watching Ivan Koloff a little while ago earlier today. He was talking about the
Koloff, man.
Ivan and Nikolai.
Just so y'all know, this is disturbing. The Spurs have scored 83 points in the first half, and they are still on Milwaukee, and it is still 1 minute and 33 seconds left. Let's stop everything right now, real quick, for 1 second. Y'all saying that this team, man, they
now what's the score?
83-61.
Oh, Milwaukee will catch that.
Milwaukee. Dude, did we not just witness the Spurs just blow a 32-point lead?
Hey, Trav, listen. Trav, this is what we're going to do. If the Spurs blow this lead tonight, I owe you whatever the Spurs lose by times 5. In push-ups.
Okay.
In push-ups.
Okay.
Push-ups.
Okay.
Push-ups. So if they lose by 15, I owe you 75. Push-ups.
Yes, you do.
I'm just letting you know, bro. They're not gonna lose this game.
I'm not saying that they're gonna lose. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're gonna lose. It's just
plus I like to challenge for myself.
It's the reality of basketball, man. Because 20-point lead is not safe.
Dog, there is no lead that is safe in this league.
Hey,
I don't think it's being as safe. I don't think it's safe. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying 83 points and a half, y'all.
The push-ups going to be live. That's what I want to know.
Man, if Trav wants the push-ups live, Trav get the push-ups live. Big bro want the push-ups live, we're gonna get it live.
We'll know it's live when Germ do it from the show. Like, man, I'm in this bed. I can't lift my arm to do this computer thing. So y'all just gonna have to get this as is.
It will be on the scene. I'm gonna tell you that. It will be on the scene.
Hey, so speaking of that, hey Trav, I'll bring you back in.
Yes,
and this
sir.
is the interesting contrast in fandom. Jay Ham, for the first time in a minute, had legitimate excitement about his Grizzlies, playing or not.
If Dylan Brooks just misses a layup, go ahead.
Shout out to him.
They deserve. I mean,
No.
Let's
Here's
go.
the flip side. Here's the flip
Yeah.
side to that. You have kind of been, and tell me if I'm wrong, kind of mad about San Antonio for most of the second half of the season.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Because we have this tendency of playing to the level of our competition in the first half. One thing about the Spurs, this has been happening to them ever since 98. 1998.
Oh, he bought some history.
They've never been a good third quarter team. They've never been a good third quarter team.
Mm-hmm.
They would. I have seen it so many times with them.
Except in the finals in Miami, that don't count.
Well, they was pissed off with greatness at that point because the simple fact that they shouldn't have lost the first one.
Yeah,
But
fair.
you lose that one to clean up the mistakes and do what they did.
Yeah,
They just broke up. They broke up the Jackson 5 in Miami just a year later than expected.
and he wonder why I call him shot making bastards.
But overall, Vic Shot, I mean, that's been the thing. That's why if we make it through the third, if San Antonio have a big lead, they make it through the third, I'm comfortable with them winning the game.
Right.
But that's just basketball in whole. The Spurs just have a thing about the third quarter that it's like, damn, man, y'all gonna pick it up?
Do you think that's, I mean, I know you said it's going back to 98, but I look at that squad. Do you think it's just because this is a really young team by pop standards?
It's young, they're young, and it's not a Spurs team. It's not a Spurs team. I mean, of course, you can win games with twos, but when it's all said and done, you gotta have some threes mixed off in there. Pop right now, they have a lot of energy guys that's gonna play hard, but at the end of the day, can you put the ball in the buckets at the right time?
Look up Papa around there drinking all the Zinfandel, man, and Merlot.
Pop drinking that wine at halftime.
Man, it's day party Papa around there joining that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there was a good question in the group. Shout out Marv who posted this. Disappointments in the league, because we're gonna wrap up the regular season. Some folks gonna be hitting that Airbnb, Expedia, looking for them trips to Tulum for Memorial Day. Dominican
Price line
Republic is
specials.
open. Exactly, Jay. You know what I'm saying? Little orbits action to Vegas. You know how it rolls.
Call William Shatner out of the price line negotiate.
So disappointing team. And for me, the one that came to mind, we've talked about Boston and their issues previous. For me, the team that I'm really disappointed in is New Orleans. You can tell me about the youth, but I look at a Memphis squad, speaking of hand, that's very young. I look at a Memphis squad with a less experienced coach. And the fact that Memphis, this is not even a diss, the fact that Memphis is going to make this play-in over New Orleans and even over San Antonio shouldn't happen with the amount of front end talent that New Orleans has.
And big shot, Memphis can't beat either one of them.
They can't.
That's the crazy part.
But
They
the
cannot
fact
get a
is,
win over either one.
Memphis is gonna make this plan. New Orleans should be at New Orleans with that talent and Germs. You can step in, Trav step in. They should be comfortably in the play-in, and to me, should be actually playing for 6 with that talent.
I think Memphis has got a bunch of young guys that don't believe like they should be. They think they should be higher.
Right.
And
They play with that kind of entitlement.
They play with that type of entitlement of themselves. I mean, John Morant just told y'all he thinks he's the top 5 point guard
right,
in the league.
and that's why the disappointment for me is with New Orleans, because to me, you tell me, and I'll let Germ chime in because this is your guy. In quotations, you got Brandon Ingram, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Zion, and Lonzo. Y'all supposed to make the playoffs. I don't care what the West look like, top to bottom. Y'all supposed to make the, and y'all got, and you bring in Stamp. You fired. Was it Gentry?
Mm-hmm.
Lottery.
You fired Gentry to bring in the experienced vet coach to take you to the next step. You paid Brandon Ingram, Zion full scale. And we not gonna make the play. To me, they are the most disappointing team in the league.
Here, that is so tough, man. You know the reason why I was gonna say the Pelicans, because I don't see the growth and the development outside of 2 or 3 players. Where I mean, you got all these players from this Anthony Davis trade, right? And I hate to be this person to say this, but let's be honest. From a roster standpoint, they're literally too deep at every position, or should be too deep at every position. They got Jason Hayes, who's a very, very serviceable big, with Steven Adams, might I add you. So it gives you the contrast of one guy who's the junkyard dog who does all the dirty work, and the other guy that's super athletic, that gets up and down the floor, can block shots, protect the rim, and everything else. That fits very well with having a guy like Zion who gets to the rim the way he does. The issue is, again, and as much as we try to see, people be thinking that I be just nitpicking with dude. Brandon Ingram is the reason that I just do not believe in them. It's just saying we got to find some ways to make him a little bit more effective. That doesn't mean it's all his fault either, by the way.
No.
But some of it is, hey, man, if we're going to use this kid, what does Brandon Ingram do good? This is something that maybe I'll come up with an off-season regimen. This off-season, I will study this man. I will take the time, and I will tell you what he can do in order for him to be able to maximize his efforts and talents on the court. I don't have a problem doing that. But Lonzo's improved. Zion has been healthy. What else do you need? You need Brandon to be a little bit more of a force if that's your main scoring guy. It's not easy to score all the points in the league. I get it. But these high-calorie stats that we celebrating from Brandon Ingram, when do they just be that? High-calorie stats.
Trav. We talked about
bring Trav in because Trav want to walk away and he want to give me attitude because he want to defend him. So defend him. Defend his honor.
Either New Orleans, you can chime in on New Orleans, chime in on New Orleans, or another team that this year you was like.
New Orleans is my pick. But it ain't because of what Jerm talking about. You know who it is. It's that whining ass baby on the sideline. You ain't gonna get no production from it. It's the bottom. It ain't that production of play. As you've seen, Zion is putting up numbers unbelievable.
Lonzo has improved.
Lonzo has improved. Even Bledsoe, a person that I really don't too much care about, he's
Has
playing
played
hard
better.
for them.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Ingram is your money maker. Put him in situations to where he don't have to dribble as much and to score the basketball. Who does that all falls on? It's that little fat guy on the sideline. You know, when you have a voice, I tell you what, John, my wife may be asleep, but sometimes she be nagging me. Sometimes I get tired of it. You want to know what I do? I just walk away. I walk away. I leave. Why? Because I need a reset. When the tone comes different, I begin to do things around the house. I begin to work. If I'm playing basketball in the house, I'm giving you 35 a game. But when I got this nagging person back here and getting on my nerves, I don't produce.
But Trav, y'all said it.
If you're not putting me in the situations where I'm supposed to be, I'm not going to produce.
Z, here's the thing. I'm not mad at your analogy. I think your analogy is perfect. But I'm going to say this, though. The one thing that we can't do is we can't blame the nagging voice because everybody else got to deal with the same nagging voice. And some people are dealing with that nagging voice and they're still producing and putting up the numbers
that's
required.
what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do.
I think
bingo.
What got them, among other things, was the 2 off-season move that didn't work. And that was JJ Redick. It didn't work.
JJ going to Dallas.
And the Drew Holiday trade didn't work.
And Holiday going to
Milwaukee.
What was the Holiday trade again altogether? It was Holiday and what?
For Bledsoe.
It was Bledsoe, Holiday. That was the main.
Bledsoe and what's my George Hill.
Okay. No, George Hill went to Philly.
But George Hill went.
But I got you.
He was there somebody else,
and then he bought out. Got you. No, I couldn't remember what the trade was exactly. But thank y'all. That's it, man. Look, again, I'm not nitpicking. I think that if Brandon Ingram is the guy, if he's your guy, and Zion is your other guy, what more do we need from Zion? We need more rebounds. Is that fair or foul? We need you to dominate on the glass and inside a little bit more on the defensive rebounds. That's what we can ask for. But Brandon Ingram, what do we need from Brandon Ingram? We need him to take that next step on the perimeter. And I just think right now in the wings situation, we are in a logjam of wings. What does Brandon Ingram do better than your premier wings or do just as good as them? And there lies our issue. There lies our separation. There is a tier, and this man is not in the A tier. He's in the B or C plus tier.
Damn, C plus though.
So Terry goes put him in a position.
Hey, I said B to C plus because he's going to have
nights. Terry Coach put him in a position.
Ham, who you got on a disappointment factor?
I can't think I really can't think of anybody outside of that because everybody else that I expected to be disappointed and slow, they lived up to those expectations.
You know who disappointing? Another disappointment, and I know Ham. You like to call them cheese toast. There's 2 teams that we can add to this list. Cheese toast, aka the Pacers.
Pacers, right?
Because the Pacers, the TJ Warren injury hurt.
It's like that organization is stuck.
They stuck, man.
They stuck. They've been stuck for a minute.
And speaking of stuck, you want to talk about stuck? We love him to death on this show, and he really can't do no more than what he's doing. But that thing up in that northwest corner,
the
Oregon Trail, Damn, you probably remember. You an old head like me. You remember the Oregon Trail video game?
Yeah, I remember it too.
Hey, them folks got cholera. Remember they say you kill your cattle because you got cholera. It's basketball cholera going on in Portland.
And we just seen that maxed out.
It's maxed out, man.
It's completely maxed out. He's giving us as much as anybody can give.
Dame can't do no more.
Dame is the toughest player on his team. He is the best player on his team, the toughest player on his team, and he is the one guy on his team that you know night in and night out whether he impacts the game on both ends of the floor. That's the issue, though. The issue is they don't have nothing that go with it. Again, not a shot at CJ, but CJ is not the answer next to him. I can't keep telling folks the truth, man. Trav, you got something you need to say, man? Go ahead, man. Say what you need to say. I just
witnessed Russell Westbrook. It was 5 seconds left. They got the defensive stop. Russell Westbrook came down, dribbled the ball, and shot a 3-pointer.
I knew it. My God.
He made it too long.
He missed it.
You know he ain't make it. Come on,
hey, man. If the Knicks in 4, I'm just saying. If the Knicks in 4, if Russ can make it.
And I'm going to tell you, this is not all.
Did he hit the back iron?
Yeah, he just missed it. Yeah, he back iron. But he missed it. But this is what he did. But this is not the story, though. So he missed the shot. Game over with. This man went to the referee and grabbed the basketball.
You took the ball with him?
Took the ball.
Because he got the triple-double?
Now, here's the thing. He solidified his triple-double.
That's all he got.
That ain't why he took that ball, y'all.
Why he take the ball?
He's finna go in practice after this.
He gonna need to make that regular ass jumper in the next week or two. Yeah, that makes sense. He pulled up a transition too, huh?
Hey.
So that means he jumped like 8 feet off the ground when he took the.
I love it.
Hey man, check this out. Them folks scored 45 points in the fourth quarter, and they needed 47 to win the game.
124 to 125.
Did Trae Young play tonight?
Yes, Trae Young played.
He probably had about 40, huh?
Trae Young had 36, 6, and 9.
Yeah. 36, 6, and 9.
Hey, Clint Capella had 22 rebounds tonight.
Hey, we talk about hidden stories. Clint Capella has been really good.
Yep.
For the Hawks.
Hey, the Hawks been really good. But we ain't gonna talk about that since that trade and since that
since they brought Nate in.
They brought Nate in. It's going well. Clint Capella has
you get Nate out of it. You get Nate out of that white bread cheese toast town. You did him down there with the honey gold wings and the different exotic
down there.
Sauces.
It's Waffle House. Mayor Pizza. It's all good.
Hey man.
They probably campaign over the weekend. We don't know. I'm just saying.
They'll be killing me with the cheese. Get them out the cheese toast, man. Hey, man. Hey, but their colors is looking like cheese toast.
See, you know what I'm saying? They got the yellow.
Hey, come on, man. Them folks got them Winnie the Pooh colors, man.
They got it. Yeah, man. The Pacers, man. It's just.
Hey, man.
Going back to New Orleans, though, I like what Trav said about their culture, and I think he's right. Because it's like, if you're going to retool your joint, you're going to spark and try to uplift your culture, keep Stan Van Gundy working for TNT then.
I think he's the wrong coach for that team.
Exactly.
For that group.
And it wears thin. I agree with Trav on that. It will wear thin after a while. They hadn't stopped competing. Credit to them for that, but the results should be better than what we've gotten.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. You want to know who would be a good coach for the New Orleans Pelicans next year?
I'm listening.
Brad Stevens.
Then you get
That's
development.
so not bad.
You get
That's-
development.
Hey, guess what? Hey, Trav. And I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? I'm gonna go old school just to let y'all know that I'm with it. I got the Indian fever. Make me a believer.
Mm.
Brad
Because
Stevens.
Brandon Ingram equals Indian fever.
Hey, Brad with them wouldn't be bad. I think Brad need a new start too.
He got the
Well,
tools.
Hey,
He got the tools. He got his Jason Tatum. He got his
he got
Jalen
his
Brown.
he got his what?
Jason
Yes.
Tatum.
Don't
He
you
got
say that?
16. He got a 6'10" guy.
6'10". He got 6'10". Still playing.
Hey, he clearly.
Charles Starr, man. But he got all the tools, and guess what? They are young. They young.
How old is B? B about what? 22, 23 years old?
23. Zion,
Yeah.
what? Zion is still 17.
Zion can't drink yet.
No.
No, he can't. He
Zion
can't drink
He's
till
still
July.
playing. He's still playing Nintendo with his little brother.
Yeah, he can't drink till July or
Zion
something like
can't drink yet, man. Yeah, Brad. That would be a good change of scenery for Brad. Would be going to New Orleans.
I'll just say this: sign me up for it, because when he get the coach, then that leaves one other thing. That means that Trav and Les now they got to just come out and finally have to say he just ain't that dude like that. You mad at Jimmy Butler, but I can't be mad at Brandon Ingram.
Nobody's not mad at Jimmy Butler. It's just that man. You want to praise that man like he one of them ones. He ain't one of them.
I did. Don't. Hey, Trav, you will not put that on me. You will not.
Now, you know what needs. Hey, shout out JB. Hey, you talk about one of them ones. Another team I'm looking forward to in the playoffs. Let me talk about this, man. New energy, new blood.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte Hornets gonna be a wild team to watch them play with. Because, and Ham, I'm gonna take this back to Ham and Trav. Y'all know this because y'all watch championship week. You know them teams, them one bid league conference championship game where everybody played real fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's just chaotic.
That's them.
OVC.
That's them.
Charlotte is so all over the place. Like it's so they play wild.
Somebody gonna get dunked on.
But they got the players to play that way though.
But they fun.
That's what I'm saying.
It is a fun brand of basketball. When the ball is moving like that, Terry Rozier scoring 30 and everything like that, they are fun to watch.
They might run a perfect pick and roll one possession. They might throw the ball out the gym the next possession. I don't know what they go.
It's chaotic. It's chaotic.
Ham, this man he summed it up in one sentence though, right there.
We watched them play that. We watched the fourth was
last night.
in our little meeting, and we watched them play New Orleans in one of the most chaotic games I have watched all season.
And when I finally flipped it over there, it was like 105, 106, something like that. Like,
oh man.
Charlotte, they got folks dunking on people. They might get a 24-second violation just because. It's so chaotic, but you talk about cheese toast ham. Now, whoever play Indiana got to get them out of there quick in the play.
Yeah.
Get Indiana off my TV.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Washington.
Russ, do work. What Tommy Davis say on Martin? Snooki, do work. Russ.
Hey, check this out though. I need Bradley Beal.
Yeah, Brad got to get healthy. He needs another one. Take the week off. Take the week off. Chill out.
I need Bradley.
Yeah. You do. You damn sure you're gonna need Brad. If Russ got to come down in the crunch and pull up, stop and pop.
I'm talking about he jumped it 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Man, Russ be doing the high jump.
Hey, when Russ shoot that pull up, hey, everybody in the first 3 rows, watch your head.
It's coming.
Back air.
What's
Man.
y'all man in WW in next? Ricochet?
Ricochet.
Ricochet. Ricochet Russ. Bang bang. Ricochet Rabbit. Cause that jump hitting that back
Yes,
room.
man. I'm talking about he went to the ref, took that ball.
But
He's shooting that jumper. He's jumping 8 feet in the air and shooting a line drive. It's coming off. It's coming.
Ronnie
out.
killing me, man. He's Ricochet. He called that
Ricochet.
man Ricochet. Hey,
Man, need to be on Monday night Raw with that jumper.
Man, Russ is. Yeah, so I can't wait, man. Next Monday night, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a real good time next Monday night. Playoff preview, man. We're gonna preview the play-in match because the play-in matchup is the next day. So we gotta get to that quick. I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna say next week. I got my finals pick actually done.
I already got I picked my finals teams a while back.
I've already got my finals pick. It's just gonna be a matter of how they get there. But we're gonna talk.
I'm going with my cop out answer. The
Yeah,
healthiest will be there.
You said what?
The healthiest team will be there. The best of.
It ain't even a cop out at this point. Health everything. Health is everything.
94-74 as we get ready to close out the show. Spurs are up 94-74, 25 left in the third quarter. And then we also have final scores for the night. We got the Pacers beating the Cleveland 111-102. We got Sabonis himself with 21, 20, and 9. Karis LeVert had 20 and 10.
Free that man too.
You talk about somebody that's a damn good basketball player that ain't nobody ever gonna see play.
So Demontis Sabonis.
Demontis is a yo. He what his daddy supposed to be.
He need to go to Portland.
Shit, you talk about he could use him.
He could always
him and Kevin Love. They got to.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. Okay, I'm sorry, John. Who else we got in the finals?
And let me see. Let's see. It was just that, and then the Hawks and the Wizards, 125, 124. Trae Young, as I said, with 36, 6, and 9. Westbrook with 28, 13, and 21. I mean,
lottery numbers, man. Russ.
That's why he grabbed the ball. I think he passed Oscar all the time.
He gonna shoot with that same ball later on tonight. When the
I think he passed Oscar all the time though.
Yeah,
Shalimar trade. Shalimar got to do a trade with that Shalimar with that Russell Wilson Shalimar hair, man.
Hey man, it's time. It's time.
Y'all know, brother. Y'all know Trey got that Shalimar hair, that Howard Hewitt action going up top.
He look like a DeBarge.
No.
Yeah.
Well, all right. See,
182 all-time triple doubles.
Nope. Ain't that what you say? Money, ain't that what you say? Nope. We ain't doing it.
Is this your real phone number?
Oh, no.
Hey, 94 Feel Life is the Facebook group. Scene is the family. SCEN Facebook fan page. Join the group. Follow us on Twitter. 94 Feet of Life 1. 94 FT of Life on Instagram. Freestyle Friday. We got one more freestyle session coming up this Friday. And then next Monday night, starring you, the NBA preview show. We're going to preview the play-in. We're going to have our finals picks. We got guests. We got cameo. This is going to be a good time this Monday, so y'all join us. Big Shot, John, Trav, Ham. Shout out Coach Les dropping through. 94 Feet of Life. We out.